All right, it is 11:30 Central, so we will get started. Welcome everyone to today's webinar, RealCare Baby Curriculum in Google Classroom. My name is Emily Klinsky. I'm on the marketing team here at Realityworks. Presenting with us, we have Chris Potapenko. He is our product support supervisor. Before we get started today, I did want to mention that everybody will be receiving a recorded link to this webinar. And then also during this presentation, Chris will be stopping to answer any questions. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to write them in the Q&A section or in the chat section. With that being said, I'm going to pass things over to Chris.
Good morning, everyone. As Emily said, my name is Chris Potapenko, and I'm the product support supervisor here at Realityworks. So hello and welcome. I wanted to take a moment today to kind of talk to you about using RealCare Baby and its accompanying curriculum as a distance learning tool, specifically with use in the Google Classroom here. Really, research has shown that between the fall of 2012 and now, Google has gone from an interesting possibility to the dominant way that schools around the country teach students to find information, create documents, and turn in assignments. More than half the nation's primary and secondary school students use Google Education. While the focus today is on Google Classroom, these same files and principles can be used with other systems such as Blackboard, Moodle, Schoology, just to name a few. So what we're going to discuss today is really 4 parts. We're going to talk about remote classroom teaching strategies. We'll talk about files, software, and equipment needed. We'll discuss the setup of a Google Classroom. I'll kind of list those steps and we'll go through and I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll talk about presenting and assigning material to the students. So let's get started. Teaching strategies for the remote classroom. Many educators are already using RealCare Baby in their distance learning programs. Here are their top 5 suggestions for transitioning from a traditional teaching in a classroom to using an online learning platform. The first one would be establish your presence and be available. Welcome your students into the learning community. Encourage students to contact you if they have questions by establishing the ways a student should contact you and during which days and hours. Engage your students through online posts, forums, or social media. It's very easy to come across as absent online, but good communication helps students see that you value their engagement. A second tip here, use provided content and online resources. Realityworks does a great job providing you a full and comprehensive curriculum with the RealCare Baby product. This includes presentations, quizzes, tests, student worksheets, and handouts as well. A third big piece here, don't lecture. Expecting the unexpected is what keeps kids engaged and appreciative of their instructor's efforts. Sounds simple, but we all get caught in this trap sometimes. Fourth tip, make your assignments clear. Students can find accessing and understanding assignments or notes online confusing. So make it easy for them to know what they have to do each week and when the work is due and how much it counts towards their final grades. And finally, provide ongoing feedback. Feedback is extremely important in every classroom, but when you're teaching online, it's another way to establish that personal connection between you and your students. Any thoughts or questions on these tips?
No, Chris, it doesn't look like we have any other questions right now on that.
Awesome, awesome. So let's talk about what equipment is needed. As an instructor, the tools that you need are going to be a webcam, a possible video conferencing tool, screen share capabilities, RealCare Control Center software, and then your files for your Google Classroom. These tools are helpful in order to present and demonstrate classroom material. Now, there are a lot of different flavors of softwares out there for video conferencing, webcams, We happen to use Zoom here at Realityworks, but I've worked with educators, they use a lot of different things out there. So whatever you have available to you, I'm sure will be able to work. Interestingly enough, the same equipment, the same tools used by you as the instructor to facilitate the class is used by students to participate and be engaged in the class. So your students may need a webcam, that same conferencing tool, screen share capabilities. You're going to give them a RealCare Baby to use with all the accessories that go along with that. And then they'll need internet access to log into the Google Classroom to see the assignments you're providing them and to fill out those for you. So really, let's talk about setting up the Google Classroom and assigning the coursework. The first steps there were just getting us to this point here. This is really what we've all come to see today. So really, when we talk about this, an example to follow is what we've set up here at Realityworks, but you can create your own Google Classroom when you log in for the first time here. So here are the steps to follow. The first things we're really going to need to do is we're going to download and extract the files from a link that Realityworks will provide you. This will provide all the RealCare Baby curriculum in an assignment format that you can add into your Google Classroom. We'll go through uploading those files to a Google Drive, and I'll show you where you can set that Google Drive to automatically convert the files to be used in that system. We'll log into the Google Classroom next, and I'll show you how we went about creating a class, creating topics, and creating those assignments, adding in the instructions, who the students are, the points values, due dates, topics for organization, all of those great things. So as I mentioned earlier, Realityworks provides that comprehensive curriculum, which includes those instructor guides, PowerPoint presentations, student worksheets, quizzes, tests, and all the answer keys that go along with that. These files are going to be available as Word documents, PowerPoints, and PDFs to allow that easy conversion and incorporation into your online classroom. Depending on your learning situation or learning settings, signing into Google Classroom is going to be done in kind of one of the three following ways. Either you'll have one established through your school, so you'll sign up through your school account. You may have a personal Google account that you've set up a Google Classroom with, or you can sign in through a G Suite account. So let me take a moment here. Any questions on this before I show you what that looks like on my computer here?
It doesn't look like we are having any questions on this so far, Chris.
Awesome, awesome. So the first step, as I mentioned, we're going to take a look at downloading those files and extracting them there. So what I've done is I've clicked on my link here, and I downloaded the basic infant care documents. So those are housed just in my downloads folder on my computer here. I've also just right-clicked on them, chose extract all, and let the computer do its process to put them in a file folder here. So if we open up that file folder and went inside, here we can see all of the curriculum assignments laid out and PowerPoint presentations that we're going to now upload into the Google Drive. So since I have the files here, the next thing we'll do is we're going to go ahead and just open up the Google Drive. Again, to do that, you're going to log in by one of those three methods I told you. But by going into the web URL and typing in drive.google.com, it will come in with a login screen for you. And you're going to end up in a Google Drive just like this. So in the upper right-hand corner, I've just got the account that I've logged in here, and this is the one we use at Realityworks. And we can see the file upload process over here on the left. Before we upload any of these files, the first step we want to do is set up the Google Drive to automatically convert these files for us. To do that, we'll click on the settings gear in the upper right-hand corner. We'll go into settings. And then you'll see that there's a little box here, say convert uploads, and you want to make sure that you've got a check mark in there. Go ahead and click done. What this ensures is that when we click on new on the left-hand side to upload our files or folders, anything we bring into the drive Google will convert to a Google Doc, a Google slideshow, or a format that's easy for it to be able to use inside your classroom. We'll go ahead and click on File, Upload. This is going to take us to locate the basic infant care documents that we have. We simply can go into that folder. We can select one of the files. And in my case, I'll use Control-A to select all of them. And we'll see in the file name that it lists every single one of those files. Now, I'm not going to click Open here because that will take a few minutes just to upload those files to the Google Drive. I've already done this step, but I at least wanted to show you how to get here. Once we do that, those files are going to upload into the Google Drive. And in my case, I have a lot of different files and folders already created as we're doing the curriculum for each of our products here. But I'll go into my basic infant care, and here are all of those same files, all 94 files loaded in here. This is the important first step. You need to do this in order to go into your Google Classroom and start creating those assignments and adding them in place. So you can see in the Google Drive, I have PowerPoint presentations, PDFs, and if I scroll down just a bit here, I've got some different Word documents and Google Doc files in here. Now that I've got all my files inside my Google Drive, I'm going to switch over and we're going to open up our Google Classroom here. And are you able to see the Google Classroom screen now? What we should see at the top here is we've got, I'll call it a little hamburger icon. We can go and hit on our classes, and if we've got more than one class, they're going to show up as tabs here. Once we have those tabs in place, I'm going to go into the Infant Simulators class, and this is the first screen you're going to see as an instructor. You'll have the option to stream content, view classwork, which is where we've got all the assignments created in here. We'll talk about that in just a moment. We can see all of the people or add new students to our classroom simply by clicking the Add Student icon here. I have myself in as a student already. And then you can view the grades for anything that your students have submitted to you. So let's focus on the Classwork tab. Inside the Classwork tab, what we have here is the basic infant care curriculum introduction. So this is an assignment that I've created, and I've added content into it. So let me go and take a look at that real quick. This assignment here, if I click on Edit, this is the screen you will see anytime you create a new assignment. It'll give you the option to create a title. You can add directions for your students to follow. And you can add file or content for them to access and submit as well. So for worksheets, we'll set it to have a copy for each student that accesses this. For any other material like PDFs or handouts, we'll just have a view only option there for them. And you can choose that by clicking the drop down here. On the right-hand side, you can choose which class this is for. So in my case, this is for my Infant Simulators class. You can choose individual students or all students in the next drop-down here. You can set a points value for this particular assignment, a due date, and then which topic you want this assignment to fall under. If you had a rubric, you could go ahead and upload that here as well. So when we talk about adding content, if I wanted to add more content to this assignment, you simply click on the Add button, and we're going to choose the Google Drive here. It comes up with the Insert Files using Google Drive screen. And from here, I could start to search for something by name. So I could start typing in participant contract, let's say, and it'll show me those files right away. We can select that, and it automatically added it to the assignment that we're creating here. Here again, if I wanted each student to have their own copy, I would just choose make a copy for each student. Now say I've added this and that's not where I want to have it. It doesn't belong in this assignment. We can just simply click the X button and it will take that away and we're right back to where we were. At this point, I'm not going to assign this to my students. Maybe I want to schedule it for a later date. So I've got everything created here. I could create a schedule and just put this out on the calendar. So if I chose schedule, it would give me an option, what date and what time do you want to schedule this for? Another option is, say I'm just working on setting up my class and getting everything in place. So I want to get things lined up, but I don't want to assign it or schedule it out. We're going to just click Save Draft. In doing so, the information is here, but my students won't see this just yet. We can see on the left-hand side, right now I'm in the Curriculum Introduction section, but each of these topics are different sections, different units with the assignments listed in them. So this is one way that we've chosen to break things apart here at Realityworks. We broke things up by the curriculum title and which unit. So we have a Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, down the list here. And all of these are content that your students can access online and be able to view. Simply by clicking on something, it'll bring it up on the screen here. So we could click on this PowerPoint and they're immediately able to go in and start reviewing that PowerPoint. Any questions? I know we're going through a lot of material here, so I want to make sure we can get through some of those questions as well.
Yeah, Chris, we have a couple questions. Can we get digital access to the files? Teachers are wondering where they can find their curriculum link if their babies were purchased before they started working.
Absolutely. So the files are going to be on available to you via a link. If you need those files, we'll certainly get that link out to you. I believe marketing will send an email out once everything is set up to our customers so that you all have access to that.
And then would this be the same process that they would use using Canvas?
I'm not familiar with Canvas. I would have to look in that to be sure. From what I did see going through them, the file formats are PDFs, Word documents, things like that. So as long as Canvas allows you to upload those files, it would be a similar process. But I can't say for sure without looking into it further.
And then where can they access the PowerPoints, the PDF files, and all the documents for the RealCare Baby Curriculum?
We don't have that link up yet on the website. As soon as that's available, that email will go out and let you know where that is. We can get that to you through support as well once that's available, but just keep an eye out for that email coming soon.
And then can they make any changes to what we put out there?
So the assignment sheets, the Word documents that are out there, you are able to make changes. If you want to add questions or remove things or shorten them up, you can change that content. The other materials, which would be the PowerPoint slides or the PDFs, those are typically a read-only. You may be able to make some changes to the PDFs if you're going through like a pro version of Adobe Reader and that need suits you. But for the most part, worksheets you can modify, everything else, not so much.
And then we do have a comment here. I see you still have all the background images when it converted from Microsoft Word to Google Documents. Is that true for all, or have you guys formatted them differently?
Great question. So there was a lot of work going into getting those documents kind of converted over there. Everything that we're going to supply here is going to have the different images in place there. If you create your own content, you'd have to do some copy and pasting and try to get those images in, but everything we provide is going to have all the content you're used to seeing in the traditional curriculum links that we provided previously.
And then everyone is asking, will there be a cost for this link in the digital materials?
Oh, another great question. No, there's no cost to this for you at all. This is something that we wanted to do because with everything that our country has been going through and the world's been going through, I should say, we wanted to provide this material to you in a way that you requested from us. We know that there's a need for this, and we're just trying to make this easier and accessible for you to use at your will there. So no cost. That link will just be free to you to use any way you can see fit.
And then we have, are there digital assessments available in the Google version? It says, is there something that the company is working on in the future? So our assessment pieces.
Okay, so the quizzes and tests were created as Word documents there for the students to fill out. So there are those type of assessments in there. If you're specifically asking about using the Google assessment or Google test features in the classroom, we do not have material that's been converted to that yet. It is something that we've reached out to Google and on different forums to try to see if they can collaborate with us or give us some way to provide that to you. But right now, the file formats that we have are what we're able to share, what we're able to get to you that's clean and usable. If you wanted to take the assessment piece and create an actual test in the Google Classroom, you can do that. You would just have to retype the questions and put the answers in, and then that will fall right into the gradebook inside Google automatically when the students submit their work that way.
Awesome.
Hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, and then we have another question. Are the files only available if you've purchased the RealCare Babies?
We opened up all the files for all of our products to all of our customers at the beginning of this COVID ordeal. So for right now, I think it's open to everyone. I don't imagine that will change, but I could be wrong on that. So don't take my word for it just yet.
Awesome, and it looks like that answers all of our questions for now.
Wonderful, wonderful. So at this point in time, let me go ahead and bring this back up here. So we've got our classroom in here. And as you can see, I focused on the basic infant care curriculum on the topic side here. There are 3 other curriculums available as well. So let me show you that real quick. Hopefully you're seeing the Google Classroom again. It just switched on my screen here. So on the left-hand side, we have the parenting curriculum in here as well. We have the healthy choices, and we also have life skills. So all of the RealCare Baby curriculum has been converted and available to you. All right. So one of the other big things is how do we help you become successful in using Google Classroom and using these files? Our goal at Realityworks here is to ensure that everyone is successful in incorporating and using the products we provide. A big part of that is providing customer support to you. We provide support before you purchase the product. We'll do product demos, things like that. But really after it, and when you're incorporating Classroom, we're here for you still. So as our customer, you have access to our online customer support website and webinars, this one being one of them. Here you will also find helpful support videos and document on using the product. At any time, you're also able to contact our product support team for any questions or concerns you may have. So the link provided on here, and it's something that you can access at any point in time, has all of these materials for you. Infant simulators is certainly one section because we're focusing on that today. But all of our technical products, we have those same materials out there. And we also have the options for you to contact us via chat, email, if you want to give us a phone call. Our support team here is for you to be successful at using all of these products. So, I mean, to wrap things up here, really, what I really want to say to all of you is just certainly thank you for everything you do. Thank you for the time you spent with me today. If there are more questions that come up, feel free to start typing them in the Q&A section here. If you've got things that are a little lengthy, send us an email. You can email us at productsupport@realityworks.com. I'll get that email and I can certainly reply back to you. If you want to get those files and you need help getting your Google Classroom set up, I can also help you with that. Myself and my support team, I should say, can help you get those files downloaded and get them into your Google Drive and help you start getting your Google Classroom configured and ready to go. So, any other questions today?
We have one last question is, where can we access the the curriculum if they don't have the RealCare babies? Do you want to show them where they can find the COVID resources on our website?
It'll take me just a moment. Let me go ahead and pull that up and we'll share that link. So there was an email that was sent out earlier that provided a link to all of our curriculum for our products here. Let me make sure I've got that up and I'll share that screen with you right now. All right, so at the top there is the link in that email. So it's realworks.com/access-your-guides-and-curriculum/. This has all of the curriculum for each one of our products here, our agriculture, family consumer science, health science, and trade skill products here. Simply clicking on the plus in front of them, such as infant simulators, you can see all of the curriculum for our baby software in there as well. When you go into this link here and we click on RealCare Baby 3 infant simulators, it'll take you out to another page. And this is where I believe the curricula for the Google Docs is going to show up as well. Right now we have the curriculum for everything in here, but it's going to be a slightly different looking once they finish it, but everything will be available here. All right. Any other questions?
It looks like that was our last question so far. I did send that link out in the chat, so if anybody is looking for it, they can just click right to that link as well. But it looks like that covers all of our questions, Chris.
Awesome, awesome. So once again, there were a ton of people that attended today. Thank you so much for your time. Our support doesn't end here. Like I said, if you've got questions after the webinar is over, please email us, contact us any way you can, and we'll be happy to work with you. And then just really from the bottom of our hearts at Realityworks, thank you for what you do and have a wonderful day.
Oh, Chris, one last question. They were just wondering if we have an idea of when our Google Documents will be available on our website.
Absolutely. So I know our marketing team is working very tirelessly on this. Their goal, I think, is to get it out as soon as possible after this webinar. So I would venture to say within, let's give them a little bit of time. By next week, maybe they'll have that all up there for sure. Maybe sooner, probably sooner, I could say. Any other questions, any thoughts?
It looks like that is it.
All right, wonderful. Thank you again, everyone, for attending today. Have a wonderful day and take care.